Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Today, as you can tell by the title of the video, we're continuing on the series. People seem to like it in the comments, so we're going to keep it going for now, see how far we can go with it, and you know, it might get a bit repetitive at times because of results like today, but we're going to try our best to talk about the three things that we learned from Celtic's 5-0 victory over St Mirren today, from the match, from individuals, from the whole team performance, everything that we could potentially talk about, trying to summarise into three key things. Now, I've done it for the last game, as I said, Livingston away. It seemed to go down quite well. If you haven't seen it, make sure to check it out. This is only the second episode, of course, the second sort of issue of it. But hopefully going forward I'll have some graphics and stuff to go along with it, and it'll look a lot better. So without any further wasting time, let's talk about the three things that we learned then. And number one, the clear and obvious we've got to talk about is got to be Lee Griffiths. Lee Griffiths, we learned today that this man is ready for Rangers next week. He's ready to score goals. Look, the start that I had just seen before I started this video is before the turn of the year. You know, we had the chance, people were saying he wasn't going to play football anymore, blah blah blah. Since he started playing again, after the January break, he's scored 8 goals in 2020. Now, the combined goals of Morelos, Kent, Jordan Jones, Greg Stewart, Jermaine Defoe, Flo Canberry, I believe totals up to 7. 7 goals. Lee Griffiths, a man who is bang on form, and he's ready to go to Ibrox next week and, you know, contribute to what will hopefully be a win for Celtic. But we'll talk about that closer to the time. We're not going to get into that just now. But today was absolutely remarkable. The way he was, you know, in and about, his movement was great. The first goal in particular, you know, onto the end of the ball, put it in the back of the net, easy finish, but it's a striker's finish. It's exactly what you want to see from Griffiths. A lot of people talk about how creative and such Edouard can be, and how he can bring the best out of nothing situations. Griffiths today was doing that sublimely. He was looking, you know, lethal. You know, there was a few shots he had from outside the box as well. He was really hungry to get some goals, and hopefully that's the sort of attitude that he takes to Ibrox next week, and I think it will be, because the man's hungry to, you know, shut them up. He's hungry to prove the doubters wrong. He's ready to step back into a game of that magnitude. It's been a long time since he's played. You know, he'll start at Ibrox next week. There's no doubt about that. He's got to, unless, you know, some sort of fitness issue arises, which, touch wood, doesn't happen. But, you know, today was just a hallmark performance from him. It was great. You know, it's exactly what you want to see from Lee Griffiths. It felt like classic Lee Griffiths, and he's been absolutely brilliant since, you know, coming out of this January break. He's been scoring goals, he's been making goals, he's been overall just a really, you know, different player for the team from what he once was. I think coming into this system of Edouard, he's been nothing but exceptional at points, and today was another fine example of that. Getting a hat-trick, I mean, 25-1 you were getting on that today. It wasn't something that you expected to see, but it's great, and that is the Lee Griffiths of old. That is the Lee Griffiths we need next week, we want to see next week, and I think we will get a chance of seeing. I'm not saying he's going to go in Ibrox and score a hat-trick, that's not what I'm saying, but I think that sort of performance is exactly what we need with this new system. For the first time against Rangers, we'll be using that, I imagine, and to come off the back of a hat-trick going into that game is brilliant. So I think the first thing that we learned is Griffiths is well and truly up for it next week. Lesson number 2 then, and for me it is including the game next week as well, and what we have learned going forward into the Old Firm, what we should do, what should be selected, blah blah blah. Number 2, Nir Beaton has to start next week against Rangers. Like a couple of weeks ago, I would have said the perfect kind of team for Celtic would have consisted of a back three of Simunovic, Ayer and Julian. Ideally, Elamed as well, but he's only had, over Simunovic, but he's only had that sort of 10 minutes at the end of the game today, so he wasn't obviously going to be that much of a clear option for us because of the injury issues. But for me, Beaton over the past few games has proved how good a footballer he actually can be, both defensively and moving forward with the ball. Look, Beaton is someone I've always been quite critical of. I always feel like he's been a bit of a donkey, very inconsistent. You know, he can play like, you know, a fantastic central midfielder one game and then he's a liability the next. I've always kind of thought that about Nir Beaton. He's never been my favourite. I've never thought of him as a first name on the team sheet, but next week I think he's got to start at Ibrox. I think today he looked once again very comfortable whenever he had the ball at his feet. I think defensively, as you see, we kept another clean sheet. Defensively, he was solid enough for, you know, you don't expect to do too much or have too much to handle against St Mirren, but whatever he did, he seemed to handle it with composure, he seemed to handle it with class. He's just looked like a very tidy player since coming into the team over the last 3 games, and Simunovic is someone who was quite, you know, criticised heavily after the Copenhagen loss and has fell out of the team a little bit. So Beaton, I think there's no reason for him to take him out of the team next week. I know he's not a natural centre half, and maybe that is a gamble going into a game that is, you know, the biggest in Scottish football. But, you know, he's just looked so composed, too calm and collected at the back. He's a very tidy man. and he's shown that he can fill in at that centre-half role. I think as well, because of the centre-mid experience, that being his natural position, he always looks comfortable as well carrying the ball, maybe creating something out of the back when we're playing out from there. He's a lot better than, say, you know, Julian is at that. So having him beside him is good as well, because it gives Julian an outlet for, you know, a wee bit of creativity from the back, a little bit of playmaking ability. I don't think Julian's necessarily got that, but Beaton definitely has, because he's a natural centre mid. So next week, I think it's got to be the back three that started today at Ibrox. Beaton has just been fantastic, even though we conceded 2 on Wednesday night against Livingston. You know, Beaton's performance was really good, and once again complementing that going forward and at the back. So for me, I think Neil Lennon's got an easy selection for the 3 centre-halves next week. It would be great, it would be ideal if El Ahmed was back in time and had a lot more football to start the game, but is it worth the gamble to shove him in at centre-half next week? We know how good he can be, but obviously he's just back from a big injury, so don't know if it's worth the gamble to start next week over someone like Beaton, who's played quite well over the past few games. So for me, that was the second thing that we've seen today. And finally, the third and I said and finally, and I was going to say the third and final thing. I think I used final twice, but here we are. The third and final thing that I think we noticed today, or I noticed today anyway, was there's a lot more ambition in the team from what there was on Wednesday night. And it was something I touched up on in the 3 things we learned from Livingston, and that I wanted to see moving into this St Mirren game. I didn't put it as an actual point itself, but I did bring it up, and I wanted to see the team get a little bit more, you know, ambitious with their play. You know, I'm all up for, you know, increasing your chance of a goal and playing some tidy football and passing it about, but sometimes I feel like we do it far too much. We mess it up with, say, the last pass. We try and walk the ball into the goal at points. That's what it seems like. I said, you know, when we're playing these smaller teams and we know we have a chance and there's an opening, take a shot. Just do it. I'm not saying, you know, fire away 40, 50 shots a game and waste every possession you have. You've got to be smart with the ball as well, and I completely understand that. I'm one for the way that Celtic play. I think Neil Lennon's got it down to a T this season, but I think at points the players just get far too, I don't know, caught up in trying to play the final ball, getting it as close to the goal. And I just want to see us sometimes exploit the opportunities that we may have from outside the box a little bit further out and take some shots. And today we done that. And yes, it didn't mean much because we did win 5-0, and it wasn't like we were in desperate times as we were on Wednesday night against Livingston. And I guess a lot of the shots we did take didn't go in, but it's good. It kind of, you know, it rattles the opposition a little bit. It gets them a bit nervy, especially the goalkeeper. He's got shots firing every 2 minutes. The defenders are guessing what they're going to do. They're going to move forward. They're going to take a shot. We've seen many opens today. Edouard had a couple from outside the box, went narrowly wide. Big near Beaton, we just spoke about, had one that went narrowly wide. The keeper was forced to make a few good saves from long shots as well. Forrest, I remember having one, I think, and there was someone else, I think it might have been Rogic, not too sure. Griffiths it was. Griffiths came close to one as well. Like, that's what happens. We're creating chances out of nothing just because we see this opening. We're taking it because it could lead to a goal, and in the desperate times when we need a goal, we may as well, because we're running corners and stuff from as well. I don't see why we overwork it sometimes. Now, I'm not saying I'm a tactical genius. I'm not saying that's what we should do constantly. It's just sometimes it gets frustrating when we're trying so hard to break down these teams when we could be forcing a shot away and getting something out of it. I know a lot of people don't agree with that, but I just liked seeing the ambition today, taking a few extra shots. Touched the mic a minute ago there, sorry. Taking a few extra shots and really rallying up the kind of energy within the stadium and the team. Because, you know, close chances, it brings a little bit of fire to the team to keep going. And we scored 5 today. Ultimately, there's no complaints on today's performance. But today, it was nice to see us take a few more, you know, sort of chances from outside the box and longer out. It's something I wanted, and we did in fact get it. So that does it then. That's the 3 things I think that we learned today from Celtic St Mirren. There was other things to talk about, of course, around the park, but those for me were the 3 key things that we had to speak about after the St Mirren game today. Let me know your thoughts of the game, and let me know your thoughts to my thoughts in the comments below. Much appreciated if you share out the video, like and subscribe, everything on the road to 20,000 subscribers. So thank you very much for your support, and hopefully this series keeps going. Enjoyed that today. I'll see you all next time.